So I have an absolute obsession with cat media in all shapes and forms. It's the reason this channel exists. And there's a relatively new cat TV show I want to discuss today that has no business being as good as it is. SuperKitties. What seems on the surface to be a shameless combination of PJ Masks and Paw Patrol to make a quick buck selling toys actually has a surprising amount of heart put into it. Now, I'm not saying this is some sort of masterpiece by any means, just bearing in mind that this is a Disney Junior show for little kids, it far exceeds those expectations. So I apologize in advance for the corporate shilling I'll be doing for Disney in this video, but I gotta admit, I like the show. Voice cast. To start things off, I want to highlight some of the talent from the show. I'm not going to talk about all the voice actors, but I will highlight a couple of the most impressive hires they have. Justin Guarini, playing the villain Cat Burglar. He is most well known for being the runner-up of the very first season of American Idol, and since then he has been in several Broadway shows. And he's not the only Broadway star in this cast. We also got Tony Award winner James Monroe Englehart, playing Mr. Puppy Paws. We also have voice acting legend Dee Bradley Baker, playing Sam and Eddie, cute little pigeons who act as comic relief characters. If you don't know, Dee Bradley Baker is one of those voice actors who's in everything, most famous for his many roles in SpongeBob, as well as Perry from Phineas and Ferb. Even the guest stars go hard. Anika Noni Rose, famous for voicing Tiana, was a guest star in the most recent 2 episodes of the show, playing Cousin Sassy. And those are just the big names. Rest assured, the lesser known voice actors still have a lot of talent. But my biggest reason for liking this show would be the next category, the music. While the voices are great and the writing is solid, it is 100% the music that is my favorite part about this show. Take away the songs, I probably wouldn't be making this video. Currently, there are about 40 songs across the show and its soundtracks. And they're not that brain rot nursery rhyme junk you'll find on YouTube Kids. No. They're actually certified bops. Musical level quality, written by people I can tell care about the craft. And a decent selection of the songs feature literal Broadway singers. A lot of them feel picked right out of musical theater, while others are stylized more like pop songs. But both styles are amazing, and I appreciate that they play around with the genres, as it makes the songs very distinct from each other. The only problem I have is that they're a little on the short side, averaging between a minute and a half. But with 11-minute episodes, I guess it kinda has to be that way. I'd play some samples of the music for you, but I'm sure that would get this video either copyright claimed, marked as made for kids, or both. So instead, I'm just going to link to a playlist with all the songs in the description, and just describe some of my favorites. Before you even start an episode, the theme song gets you so pumped up, James Bond vibes all the way. Carmen Carter sings all the theme songs for the show, and also announces the villains in every episode, and she is named Amazing Singer by the subtitles and in the end credits. It's so cute. Jazz It Up, as the title suggests, is very jazzy. We see Justin Guarini's personality on full display, in the scenario of Cat Burglar escaping with the piano he stole by driving it down the street while playing it, stuff you'll only find in a cartoon. The villain Jaja has a lot of songs, and Isabella Crevetti brings her A game every time. This Bird Loves to Fly, My Bath, My Bubbles and Me, making music, also good. Doggy Treats Only is Mr. Puppy Paw's big musical number. Englehart really puts his Tony Award winning voice to work. The song goes a lot of places in such a short time and has a spectacular finish. Be Like Buddy, I like the 2000s rock vibes. Halloween is one of the longer songs in the show, only 2 minutes, and it is such a fun Halloween party bop. Left Behind and The Real Gift are the show's more heartfelt ballad songs, with such powerful voices provided by, again, Broadway actors. But if you're planning on watching the show, don't listen to these right now, as they both contain big spoilers for the episodes they appear in. Honestly, none of the songs in this show are bad. Okay, almost none of the songs are bad. And beyond the musical numbers, there is also a really solid score for the show, especially for the action scenes, which is background music for those who don't know. Okay, next category. The villains! I already mentioned the villains a bit here and there, but here are the 4 main villains: Cat Burglar, Lab Rat, Mr. Puppy Paws, and Jaja. Every episode in the entire show has one of these 4 act as the villain for the episode. And they're just really well written in the sense that the show isn't afraid to make them relatable and give them reasons for why they do what they do. Cat Burglar is poor and steals because he can't have nice things otherwise. Lab Rat lives in a dumpster and has to care for her octopus friend Otto, who has special needs. Mr. Puppy Paws grew up sheltered and has trouble making friends. And Jaja, well, she's mostly just an insecure narcissist, but she's so cute that I don't mind her not being as tragic a character as the others. Kids are smarter than we give them credit for, and the writers realize this and are able to give the villains sympathetic traits without having to worry that the kids watching are going to assume that makes their wrongdoings justified. For example, the piano episode with the song I like. In the beginning of the episode, we see Cat Burglar loves to play piano, and then some dumb human destroys his piano with their hot dog cart and shows no remorse or even acknowledgement. And you really feel for Cat Burglar. In the episode, he steals a piano because he can't afford to buy a new one.
For your information, it's broken. Do you know how hard it is for a cat to find a piano to play in this town?
And they teach him that stealing the piano is wrong, but they also help him fix his original piano because his situation does suck. They never beat down or demean the bad guys in the show. There's always a constant progression of learning to understand them. The SuperKitties are infinitely forgiving and kind. And I think that's really important to teach kids. Justin Guarini mentioned it in an interview about his role as Cat Burglar. Kids can get really down on themselves when they make mistakes or get in trouble. And I think one of the most important things we can teach kids is that 1. You can come back from mistakes. 2. Everyone makes mistakes on a daily basis. And 3. Show kindness and forgiveness towards the mistakes of others. Find that compromise, that middle ground. One of the central themes in SuperKitties is that the hero characters will relate to whatever problem the villain is having. Like in the episode Fireworks Fright, the conflict is that Mr. Puppy Paws wants to steal all the fireworks because he's a dog and hates loud noises. And that in itself is already pretty clever. But when they add to the episode that the hero Sparks is also sensitive to noise, we have a whole new layer to the conflict.
Then there won't be a show. Everyone will be so sad.
Not everyone. Well, toodles.
He figures out the solution of just wearing earmuffs, but ultimately gives them away to Mr. Puppy Paws, with the moral of the episode being to show kindness to everyone, even villains. And you could watch this and think, oh, how dare they reward his bad behavior. But the truth is, kindness can be a lot more productive sometimes. And the episode tackles dealing with noise sensitivity. That's not something you see very often, and it is very welcome. Those watching the show who have that probably felt very seen. For the final section of this video, I'm just going to list off some other miscellaneous things that I like. This show isn't afraid to deviate from cartoon gender stereotypes. All the SuperKitties have cat eyelashes even though 2 of them are boys, because everyone has eyelashes and that shouldn't just be a girl thing. They have Buddy, one of the boy characters, be enamored by a tiara in one episode, because it's just a headpiece. There's nothing that makes certain crowns inherently for boys or girls. Every member of the SuperKitty team is shaped and sized a little differently, which is representation for one, but also it's just a good way to create a little visual variety so they're not just color palette swaps. And the villains all being different animals is a welcome shape up on the overused trope of doing cats versus dogs. Having the SuperKitties be weak to laser pointers and tuna is delightfully silly. And I didn't really go into it in this video, but there are some really funny moments in this show. And the background characters are so lovely. It makes the whole world feel lived in, because the animals who need help all get named, have consistent voice actors, and appear periodically throughout the show. We got Sam and Eddie, Boomer, Peanut, Captain Fluffenstuff, Biscuit, Whiskers. I love Whiskers. Her voice is so adorable. Oh, and some of the side characters get character arcs with continuity. Pickles has a character arc where he admires the SuperKitties, learns to respect them, and then trains so he can be one someday. Miss Poochie Tail is Mr. Puppy Paw's first ever friend, and there's multiple conflicts as he's learning how to be a good friend. Oh, and they have gay duck dads in one episode of the show. Gay dads! And they actually refer to them as dads.
Don't worry, Dads. We'll be there kitty cat fast.
I could go on about this show. There's a lot of really good plot twists in certain episodes, but why spoil more when I've already made my case? As far as where to watch the show, all episodes air on Disney Channel and the Disney Junior channel. Season 1 is on Disney Plus, with Season 2 episodes coming there at a later date. Season 2 just started, by the way. And the first episodes for both Season 1 and Season 2 are free on YouTube if you want to give it a try. Overall, really like this show. If anything in this video sounded interesting to you, give it a try. Alright, bye everyone!
Toodles.